Good morning and welcome to ARL TV for this round 8 of the V8 Supercar Series, coming to you live from Spa-Francorchamps. I'm joined in the commentary box with a new face today, Ryan Littlemore. Good morning, Ryan. Welcome up here.
Good morning, Alex. It's great to be here. Hopefully we'll have a cracking race today.
Obviously the guys haven't seen you up here before. Perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, what your background is, a tiny little bit about your sim racing career from ARL, and yeah, just to give them a little bit of a brief overview.
Yeah, certainly will. I'm 19. I'm a uni student in my first year, doing computer science. And in my spare time, apart from going out and getting drunk, I play on the Xbox 360 in the F1 2012 leagues on the Apex Racing League. And sometime I come on iRacing and compete in the V8 Supercar Championship, but sadly today my frame rate was going all over the place, and in the interest of safety for the other drivers, I decided to back out and give Alex a hand with the commentary today.
Yeah, you've done some great little videos of the F1 as well, so I know we've worked together in the past with you sort of producing videos and then sort of me commentating on them as well, so it's nice to have you finally up in the box and doing it live, so to speak.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Alex, and hopefully I won't make any mistakes on this.
You'll be fine. So we've got about 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. One thing we noticed at the start here is how tight qualifying is as far as people trying to find room. It's a massive track Spa, but yeah, everybody seems to be bunched up. Not so much right at the second on screen, which is rather typical. But yeah, the last couple of runs, everybody fighting for space out there.
Yeah, I actually would have thought Spa would be the easiest of tracks to create some space and there'll be less traffic, but from what we're seeing so far, guys are really struggling to get some space to get a hot lap in.
So beyond obviously finding the room, what are the challenges with Spa and this car track combination?
Well, with Spa, it's probably the most demanding track on the calendar, I believe. You've got the notorious Eau Rouge corner, where in an F1 car you take it completely flat out. In the V8 you have to lift it into maybe 5th gear, up the hill. Too early on the throttle you'll lose the back end and into the barrier, and your race is over. Other notable corners, P1's one of the key corners to get right. Got to hit the apex on the left hand side to gain a lot of time for the corner. And also the famous Blanchimont corner as well, taking it flat out if possible. And also the bus stop as well, one of the key slow corners on this track to get absolutely perfect around here.
Yeah, always a bit of a driver's favourites, and I think we can see quite a few drivers struggling with the off tracks as well that you get around here, and a lot of people struggling to set time. I think in the end we might just see a few people just put a bit of a banker lap in before they try one last final stout at trying to get a decent time.
As Chris Brooks there taking the ideal line up Eau Rouge there, and he's currently in he's not set a lap time yet, as he's coming down the Camel Straight. Some notable drivers here. We have the likes of Trevor Johnson and Simon Black. I think currently leading the championship.
Yeah, Simon Black, Marty Atkins, just bringing the table up now actually quickly for everyone to have a little look. Trevor Johnson sitting in 3rd place. Tommy Kumper as well, 4th place, Mr. Consistent this week, last race. He said how he wants to try and pull an Alonso off and just perform well. Matty Burnett always up there, Rich Domenkovic as well, so a lot of drivers fighting at the top there, and consistency out. Domenkovic only done 5 rounds, so obviously he'll take his 2 drop rounds and should catapult himself right up the top of the table. Well, perhaps not to the top, but close to, so it's not over by any means yet. Chris Lucky, David Oliver also only done 5. John Emerson, I'm not sure if he's on the grid today, but 3 races, 3 wins. He's had a fantastic season when he's been able to get in there. So we'll keep an eye out to see if he arrives late. But yeah, 30 seconds left of the official qualifying. Just wonder if you can take us down the grid. Don't worry about the names, no one minds. If you get any
Right.
wrong, I'll try and correct, but I'm not wonderful either.
I shall try my best here. But currently on pole position we have Trevor Johnson with a 2-minute 25.287, with Simon Black in second place with a just 3/10 off Trevor Johnson's time. And then we have Maren McMullen in third position with a 2:26.1. And then we have Marty Atkins in fourth position with Chris Lucky in fifth. Thomas Kumper lining up in sixth position. Justin, pronounce that last bit of his name. We'll just go with Justin, makes it easy for me. Setting a 2:26.8. Then we have Matthew Burnett and Nick Rainbird and Tom R. Jones to complete the top 10. Craig Dorr coming in 11th place with a 2:28.7. My good pal Dean Prescott setting a 2:29 flat. Stephen McPherson is second behind Dean. Isaac De
Figueireno, yeah.
De Figurino, apologise, I got that wrong, with a 2:30.8. Romar Kalla with a 2:31. Damien McComchie, I think that is, a 2:33.9. And 17th, David Oliver with a 2:38.8. And the rest of the guys have not set a lap time so far.
I think we saw this last season as well. There was a few people who didn't set times, and everybody is now on their final lap, so the pressure is on those lads to pull something out the bag.
Yep, as well, I'm watching Thomas Complace coming towards the bus stop chicane now. Is he going to improve on his time there? Sorry, Alex.
It's alright, I was about to say we saw Marlon McMullen as well. I think he aborted his lap. It looked like he was struggling to keep it on there.
Yeah, he's headed back into the pit box. He's given up on his time. He must have had a mistake. Went off road, maybe. Who abandoned his lap. But it's going to be a good race, Alex. Looking ahead to the light going out.
Spa always seems to produce some good racing. I don't think we'll see like a train of cars going around looking at the split of times, but certainly there's going to be some great individual battles throughout the race, so we'll try and keep a foot of that and what's going on.
Yeah, as we can see, Nick doing a bit of Ken Block drifting going around the bus stop chicane as he crosses the finish line, and it looks like he hasn't improved on his time there. As I think that's all the drivers done, I believe.
Yeah, looks like it. Session's changing over. Yes, just take you through the final qualifying position. Trevor Johnson did indeed secure pole. Simon Black in second. Mark McMullen in third place. Marty Atkins in fourth. Chris Lucky fifth. Thomas Kumper sixth. Justin Domenico. I'll get it there eventually, mate. Don't worry. Seventh. Matty Burnett in eighth. Nick Rainbird ninth. Tom Jones 10th. Craig Dorr. Dean Prescott. Romar Kalla. David Oliver. Steve McPherson. Isaac De Figueireno, Damien McConkie, Rich Dominkovic didn't set a time, neither did Tim Volz, Chris Brooks, neither, Brett Spicer, Kevin Johnson, Cedric Finsack, Dane Powell, and obviously yourself sat there as well. So
as we can see, Trevor Johnson has come onto the grid, pole position. It's very key to get a very good exit out of turn 1. Coming, as we have seen in the past in F1 and also in iRacing, a lot can happen at turn 1 round here.
yeah, we can just hear some of the team radio in the background so the drivers start to get themselves prepared for this race. It's going to be a fantastic race. I mean, who's your tip for victory today, Ryan?
Oh, it's good. I'm going to go with Simon Black on this one. I think he has the pace to win here. He's been setting strong times throughout the week, and he's my £10 bet for this race. But watch out for Trevor Johnson as well.
Green, green, green.
Lights are out, everybody's away. Looks like one of the REM cars got a fantastic start there. Trevor Johnson covering the inside line, Black on the outside, he's got his teammate right behind him. This is where it's going to get interesting. A few guys running wide, taking the Kimi Raikkonen line. Eau Rouge, we saw 3 wide going into here in the GP260 race last night. No one that crazy here.
I believe it's been a clean start as you can see Chris looking a bit wide coming out of Eau Rouge there. Coming down the Camel Straight.
Yeah, like you say, Camel Straight, lots of side-by-side action going on through there. Few moves made. For the most part, it seems like a war. I think that was Tom Jones just taking a whole chunk of the curb. It looks like Marlon has got past Simon Black there, so I lost it totally. Brain dead. And
yeah,
again, Tom Jones wide, down the bottom of the hill, in the gravel. He's going to lose 3 or 4 places there. Cedric Vinsack, I think that is. He was pretty close to him there. He's going to have to cover the inside, it's too late. He's lost up another place.
As Simon Black is right on the back of the, I think it's the number, can't really tell from the replay screens, but I think it's number 95, I think, who is, I believe, I think it's Maron McMullen up in second place, with Trevor Johnson. He's only around about, I think, half a second behind Trevor Johnson is Marlon, and he's hoping to push, hopefully, for a surprise win here today.
Yeah, it is Marlon sitting in second place. CST lads behind. Although someone's just made a little move into third, we'll have a little look at that. But so far so good off the start. I think we saw Chris Lucky going a little bit wide as well, so he's dropped down the order. Gonna have to keep an eye on him because he'll for sure try and work his way up through the grid. Oh, Trevor into the last corner, looking a little bit wobbly there.
As I think the number 40 car of I think it's 40. I think someone did go wide at the bus stop chicane and lost a position.
We've got a little bit of action at the bus stop as well. A few cars going sideways coming out of that. Everybody trying to avoid it. And side by side, contact.
I think it's Chris Lucky. I think not Chris Lucky. I think it's.
Was that Justin and Simon? Let's see if we can't get that spooled up. Both drivers into the wall heavily. That could be race over for them. They will get a fast tow. But let's have a look, see what that was all about.
As we can see, Chris Lucky is right on the back of his teammate here, coming down the Camel Straight. Is he going to make it at the pass here, going into the chicane? As there's 3 wide going down the Camel Straight. As Cedric tries to take the inside of the number 80 car, and he does so. Great move there from Cedric.
Yeah, Dean and Chris battling hard there. Tom Jones behind them is ever so tight in there.
Oh, we have a crush behind them. Well, I think it's.
I think that's Simon trying to recover actually back in there. He's obviously got damage. Just trying to get that replay spooled up. Yeah, I've just got it here now, so just looking at it. So going down into turn 1. So driver just had a little look behind, up the inside, seeing close. It was just side by side, really. I hate to say it, but it looked. Oh, we've got another spinner there just on the screen. I think that was Isaac De Figueiredo there, just taking the back of someone. So
I think it was Craig who got a position from the. I think it was Isaac, yeah. Oh, and we have someone off it as well, into the gravel.
Yeah, Simon's car's crabbing like mad as well, and needs to stay out of the way, so definitely just needs to get himself back to the pits. I'm not sure he managed to do it, whether or not he had to take a fast tow. But he'll be frustrated with that. I have to say, it looked more like lag contact, a bit of netcode than anything else there. They were side by side. nothing really that that could be done there. I don't think. Still, he hasn't got himself back to the pits yet.
As we can see, Tommy Kumper, he's up into 4th position. He's slowly closing up on Marty Atkins. Kumper, I think, was quicker than Marty Atkins on that last lap, and I think he's around about 2-3 tenths behind Marty Atkins now as they're coming down the Cam straight. But Trevor Johnson's not built a big lead as I would have expected from him, as he's only a second ahead of Marlon.
Yeah, you obviously tipped Simon potentially to win this race. He's unfortunately not going to have that chance today, so it could see a good battle between Simon and Marlon. Just as we have a quick jump up into the dynamic cameras here, and take a look at the Arden Forest. Some great shots here. Fantastic layout Spa as well. You don't always get an appreciation for how great it is up until you sort of come up high. Got Romer Alcala underneath, under a bit of pressure from McPherson. He's in a bit of a Kimi Rules fencing sandwich there. Not sure who that is in front of him.
Oh, we have a sideways moment for one of the KRF Motorsport cars. I think it's Tom Jones. As Roman Alcala is right on the back of the number 20 car of, I believe, Brett Spencer.
Roma looks like he's got a little bit of damage on that front right as well, so he's not come out of the first few laps unscathed, but he gets the move done.
As Brett's not going to give the position up though, he's right on the back of Romain Alcala, approaching Blanchimont, one of the most formidable corners on this track in my opinion. Got to get the braking absolutely right, as they do.
Yeah, Roman just drifting a little bit wide. You have to be careful there. You catch the outside edge on the just as you come off the curb, it can really unsettle the car. He takes a whole load of the sausage curb as well, so unsettles the car. But Brett getting a little twitchy out there. He's not going to get that run into turn 1 like he was hoping.
He might have some pressure from his teammate behind as well as they come in. He will get some slipstream. Stephen will hopefully have some good slipstream around here, going up the hill towards Eau Rouge. But Brett Spencer's not giving up though, and he's slowly closing to the back of Romain Alcala to come up Eau Rouge. As I think Roma's gone a bit wide into that corner, and Brett's going to make the move coming down the camera straight.
Yes, McPherson's through as well, so Roma loses out 2 places there.
It looks like Stephen's going to make a move into the chicane.
Yeah, Roma trying to fight his way back around the outside as well. He doesn't want to give up those places. I think he might have got it back as well, side by side.
Going to be very interesting going into this happen. What's going to happen here?
Tricky downhill braking. Both of the guys obviously doing it as late as possible. Driving from Brett there, just knew that he just needed to stay out on the outside. Thought he was going to try and stick it out, see if he can get the inside line here. But Roma wide again. He's going to get the run. Brett, this is never easy into Blanchimont into Pouon side by side. Oh, both drivers giving each other some room. Everybody catching up behind him as well. Chris Brooks, Kevin Johnson. They're just lapping up this battle. I think Roma's got somehow managed to hold on to it through the outside of Pouon there.
Yep, as looking at Trevor Johnson now, he's poured a big gap on Marlon McMullen now. He's 2.1 seconds ahead. His last lap was a 2:26.6, and I wonder if he's going to improve on his time on this lap.
Yeah, we know how good Trevor is. I mean, he's won a couple of races, I think, this season. He's been very unfortunate in a couple others as well. Otherwise, I think he'd be right up there in the championship as this battle rages on here for what is 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th. You wouldn't believe it, the way the guys are going at it.
As we're looking at, I think Thomas Kumper now is still at the back of Marty Atkins, and it's going to be inevitable now that Tommy's going to get past Marty Atkins now.
Oh, contact in the bus stop. Sorry, this battle ahead. Still, I think that was Kevin Johnson. He's already got damage on the front of his car there, so...
As we're Alex, we've got side-by-side action with Marty and Thomas Kumper.
Let's just quickly jump on and have a look at that. Yeah, Marty defending it well there. Tommy having a little look.
And Marty's done an absolutely good job there defending the position from Tommy Kumper. But,
yeah, Rainbird not far behind as well, so if these two start battling, I'm pretty sure he's going to get up to him pretty quickly, and we're going to have another 3-car battle on our hands.
Yeah, another thing to consider as well is the dirty air as well. If another driver's behind another driver, obviously they'll get some dirty air, and it will obviously tyre wear will reduce. So some of these guys will be struggling on their tyres as they approach the pit stop phase, which will be, I think, around about 8, 9, 10 laps into this race. So, as you said, I think who's behind Tommy Kumper? Nick Rainbird. I think he's going to have a good chance here of maybe jumping these two in the pit stop phases if he gets it absolutely right on the strategies.
Brett Spicer just going backwards now. Romer Alcala still leading this battle, which is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars strong. So Isaac De Figueiredo's joined in on it. It just goes to show what some battling cars will do. But yeah, Chris Brooks putting a move on Brett Spicer. Oh, wide Isaac coming out of Pouon there. What I'm going to do, just as the leader's not going to get too much camera time today as he's pulling away, to just jump on board with a lap as he's approaching Eau Rouge. Still this battle rages on as well through Eau Rouge, kissing all the curves beautifully up on the top of the hill. Exit car gets a little bit light up there down the Kemmel Straight. Just pedal to the metal here, just try and get as much out of this V8 as possible.
Tommy Kumper's had a good exit out of Eau Rouge, and he's side by side. He's coming side by side now with Martin Atkins, and can he make the move going into the chicane? It looks like he does. He does get the move done, and it's a great move there from Tommy Kumper, and he moves up into 3rd position now. Great move there from Mr. Kumper, yeah.
In typical iRacing fashion as well, the camera jumps away, but I did manage to get the end of the move, so well done Tommy there. See what his pace is like. I know Marty is pretty safe on his tyres, so I expect that he'll come back towards Tommy at the end, and we'll see if these guys are on different strategies. Tommy could be burning up those tyres nice and early because he knows he's going to pit in, where Marty might be running a little bit longer and he's going to have the fresher tyre at the end of the race. So I don't think this one's done by a long shot, so we'll come back to that and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think as well, I think Marty is fuel saving as well, so he can stay out a bit longer, as you said, with his tyre, looking after his tyres. But you have to remember, Tommy Kumper is a very quick driver, and he will suspect that Marty Atkins will be fuel saving and also saving his tyres for the end of the race, so we'll have to keep a good eye on that going into the later stage of the race.
Yeah, Tommy's a very underrated driver. I mean, we got him up for interview last week, and I think when we were talking to him, he only gets about an hour and a half worth of practice each week or so for each track, and yet he still rides up there at this sort of pace. I mean, there is no way I could even be anywhere near in an hour and a half worth of practice. So, you know, fair play to him. I think if he had the time, he really would be able to fight for victories in this series. As Trevor Johnson finishes the onboard lap, so we'll just watch him through turn 1. But he's driving so smooth, not really putting a foot wrong. He's not under too much pressure.
Yeah, Marlon's. I think he's struggling a bit. I think on his tyres now. as I think he was around about half a second slower than Trevor Johnson on that last lap, as Johnson, as you said, is slowly putting a gap away from him, and he's comfortably taken the lead here, and he's going to hopefully guide the car home to the finish line and hopefully have another victory up his sleeve. As we are watching Marty Atkins now, he is now under pressure, not from Tommy Comper this time, he's now under pressure from Nick, the number 6 car, as he's coming down, trying to make an attempt at a pass there, but decided against it, as he's now right on the back of Marty Atkins now, as Marty Atkins set a 2:30 on that last lap there, whereas Nick was set a lap time which was, I think, he was set a 29.9 on that last lap, so these guys having a good little squabble here as Tommy Comper's slowly pulling away.
Yeah, it's like you said, Marty must be either just trying to conserve his tyres, or he's burnt them up a little bit and he's really struggling out there, one of the two. So I would think it would be the the earlier option. I think he's perhaps just trying to conserve them to come back and get his podium back at the end, but could be mistaken.
You never know. You never know what happens in these races. Anything can happen.
But, we know sort of how good Nick is. I just remember watching him at a Virginia race, I think it was, where he fought his way from the back all the way up into, I think it was a top 5 position, only to run out of fuel a couple of 100 yards from the finish line and ended up finishing way down in about 10th or 11th place. But it just goes to show you that he is really, really quick and can overtake as well. So he's got a little bit out of shape coming out that last corner there. But still, this battle for the 13th, 14th, 15th rages on. Brett Spicer taking a look around the outside of Romain Alcala. How many times have we said that today? But Kevin Johnston's got his way through, even with his damaged front end there. Isaac De Figueiredo in the background as well. He's recovering after going wide at Pouhon.
Because I'm now on board with Romain Alcala, and he looks not very far from I can't remember what the number is, Chris Brooks I think it is, who's ahead of him. I'm not entirely sure. As Roma decides to break a bit early going through Blanchimont, as Chris takes a very awkward line coming out of Blanchimont.
Oh, Roma having to catch that.
Oh, and he's tried to make a move on Chris at the bus stop. I think he's about to lose another position here.
Yeah, I think Brett's got up the, well, it's going to be around the outside again, but he's through. So Brett Spicer says we just switched to him. Those two having fantastic battle. Leaves the...
going down the inside.
So I'd say he left the room at the inside, you can see. These guys, fantastic.
I think Brett went a bit too wide going into turn 1. He went wide around the outside, and then Roma sensibly takes the inside line comfortably, hits the apex and takes a very good exit, and regains, I believe, in 14th place.
Yeah, once again though, he's coming under pressure. I think Brett's got the run up the inside there now. Again, he just needs to make sure he gets his braking done. Oh, he's pulled back in. I'm guessing Roma got the draft from the car in front there, and Brett couldn't get the move completed.
Because I've gone back to Marty Atkins, who's really now under pressure from Nick. Now he's about, I think, 3 tenths behind Marty is Nick. And Tommy Comper has not really got a big gap. He's only about, I think, about a second and a half ahead of Marty Atkins. But Marty Atkins setting a very good time there, 2:28.8. I think it was a second quicker than his last lap was, which was a 2:30.1. But as you said, we have to keep an eye out for Marty, as if he is what we're predicting he is, who's fire saving. Hopefully he can push, and hopefully, possibly, there's a slim chance he could challenge Trevor Johnson if Trevor has a problem.
Yeah, somehow Marty always seems to find himself in the top 3 of the championship. Sorry, of the race results at the end. And we've got someone coming in the background there. So first few pit stops starting to happen.
I think it's one of the KRF cars, I think. But I think Matthew Burnett's in the pits. As I don't know how long. I think it's about a 25 to 30 second pit stop. I think around here, as we can see Dane here, and he's had a massive crash, and I think that's his race over. I think he lost the back end coming out of Puon.
And who was that? Sorry, I'll just see if I can get a replay spooled up of that.
Dane Powell. In a very nice looking skin. I have to say that. Very nice skin. And
it's not nice anymore.
Bit a few dents on there, and I think that's his race over.
Yeah, he's Pepsi Max style car, unless he's updated that, and I haven't updated the second machine, which is probably the case.
Most like, yeah, I don't know what I've got. It's like red, but as we're looking at Roman Arcada now, he's up in 14th place, and he's now, I think he's still challenging. I think he's on Kevin Johnson now, as they're coming on the Camel Straight now, and these two have had, I think they've had some good racing over the season. I think had some good battles. I'm not entirely sure. As I think Arcada's going to try and make a move on Johnson here.
Yeah, he's got the move done. Johnson's struggling with that damage. Clearly, it's where they're battling these guys, when he's been able to take advantage of it. I'm not sure what happened to Dane. I couldn't see it on my screen. He seemed to just lag out and then appear with a blown up engine in the pit lane. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
I think he lost the back end. He lost the back end coming out of Puon and tried to control the car, and the car went into a little spin, and he had a massive crash into the barrier, and his engine, as you said, I think blew up as well. And I think he might have a fast toe. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully he'll be back on track and hopefully gain back some positions, as we're looking at the back of Kevin Johnson now, and I think he's under pressure from Brett Spencer.
Then we've lost Cedric Finsack as well somewhere, so I'm not sure what happened back there. But Cedric out, which is unfortunate. Kimi Royal fencing driver, I believe.
It's Cedric.
Could be, or a Lenovo. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't really think. As Brett Spencer's now right on the back of Kevin Johnston now, as they're coming out of, I believe it is Stavelot. I think, I'm not entirely sure. I think now Johnston's really struggling on these tyres now, and I think he will have to pit at some point if he's going to keep Brett Spencer behind him after when he pits. He's going really wide.
Yeah, he's struggling big time with understeer there. The damage on the front of that car really cost him. I'm surprised actually, because he can pit in. Oh, drivers! I thought he was going to have one on either side there for a minute. Tim Folk's coming in. He's coming into the box now. I would have thought he'd have pitted a few laps ago, because you can make it.
We had a half spin there coming out of the bus stop chicane.
That was Brett, wasn't it? So
I think it was from Brett Spencer.
Tommy Cumper, he's obviously pitted in. He has indeed. 13.8 seconds. So's Marty Atkins as well, but it was some 4 seconds slower. So,
as we can see, sorry to interrupt there, Alex, got Chris Lucky going around the outside of Steve McMurson for, I believe it's 9th place.
We've got Simon Black still in this race, 13th place. He's just in front of his teammate here. I'm not sure if he's fueled all the way to the end. I don't know if he can make it, if I'm honest. When he would have had to have pitted in, but certainly his tyres are going to be knackered, so we'll see how this is going to play out. I think he's going to have a little splash and go at the end of the race, but he's right in the mix of it now.
David Ivor's got past someone, I can't believe who it is. I think it's Brett Spencer who's got past, and I think Brett's now really struggling as he's got 3 cars behind him. One of them is Marty Atkins.
Yeah, it's Nick Rainbird right behind him as well. Simon Black's there, so not the kind of drivers you want to be, you want to have when you've got worn-out tyres. So, yeah, he's done the wise thing there. I think he's just let him go. They're all on fresh rubber in comparison to what he is. Maybe Simon not so much, but so fast.
Yeah, Marty Atkins, as you said, I think he's just had his pit stop and he's in 7th position, so he's not that far away from the top 3, from like the likes of Thomas Comper, Marlon McMullen, and Trevor Johnson, who's now, I think he's 6 seconds ahead of Marlon as we've approached the half distance mark in this race.
Yeah, just looking at some of the pit stops now, fastest person there. Actually, we've got the leader in as well. Let's just quickly jump on, see where he comes out. Marlon's in as well, so we'll see if these guys can stay out in front of like Tommy Cumper and people like that.
And I'm seeing Nick Reynard going past one of the Lenovo sport cars just before Blanchimont, and he's now up to 6th position.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Tommy didn't take any tyres there, because his stop has been so much quicker than anybody else's. A good 4 or 5 seconds. So
And
he's going to have made some room.
Look at that, Alex. I think Romain Callaghan is. I think from what I've seen, he stopped the car at the bus stop chicane. I'm not entirely sure. I saw a very slow car coming.
Oh, he's gone into the pits now, Roma, so I'm not sure what he did there, whether he's just letting the guys past.
I think he was letting them, the likes of, I believe, it was like the likes of Nick Reynard, Simon Black, Moy Atkins, just let them through. As you've said, they are on fresher tyres than Romain Callaghan is.
So Tommy Cumper, obviously his teammate letting him go, hasn't pitted yet, Dean Prescott there, so good teamwork there. But Tommy's made up 3 seconds in the pit stops on Marlon McCullum here, and he's starting to put him under a bit of pressure. I'm just going to jump back to that little battle just for a second. Yeah, I guess the real thing here will be whether or not Tommy can lap. Now, has he taken tyres? Has he not taken tyres? I'm not 100% sure, but certainly that pit stop was so fast. I do doubt if he has taken tyres, whether or not he's taken enough fuel on board. So, and we've seen this from Cumper before, where he short-filled it and had to have a little splash at the end. And I hope we haven't. I hope he hasn't done the same mistake again.
Or he could possibly have only put tyres on maybe the fronts or the rears. He might have had a look at the tyre temperatures and wouldn't be wondering, oh, is it a risk putting 4 sets of tyres on and wasting time in the pits when his tyres could be completely fine on the rears and his fronts may be struggling, so he might have put some fresh rubber on the fronts to maybe give him some front end grip around this twisty track. As we can see, the number 6 of Nick Raybird right on the back of the number 55 car as they're coming towards the final sector on this track.
Yeah, 55's David Oliver.
As Rainbird, I think he's made a pit stop.
He has indeed, yep.
Indeed, he's right on the back. Now as they're coming now, I think towards Blanchimont. Not really the best overtaking move to do in these V8 cars or any other car, the Formula 1 or the endurance cars. But,
yeah, you're better off just lifting if you've got a run, just so when you come out of that corner you're absolutely on their tail and you've got a little bit of extra momentum. Use the draft so you can slingshot past. But David Oliver defending well, went a little bit deep into the bus stop there. I think he perhaps thought that Nick was going to put a move on. I'm surprised in a way that he's fighting so hard. But David Oliver has pitted as well, so he must have had quite an early pit stop. 21.6 seconds, so
I think he tried making a move there into turn 1, decided to pull out of it, I think, and they're coming towards Eau Rouge, and Nick's still on the back of David Oliver. Oh, and I think we have a crash. There's a big crash.
I think that was David there. It's, caught that on camera. Let's have a quick look at that back. I'll get a replay spooled up because
I think my suspicions there. I think he might have lost the back end there. Might have applied a bit too much throttle coming out of Eau Rouge. There wasn't really, from what I saw, I think there wasn't a lot of contact, but could be net lag or anything. But Alex, take us through the incident.
yeah, we're just gonna have a quick look at it from gearbox camera there and see if there's any contact or anything from behind. I don't think there was. I think, like you say, I think he just got a little bit loose on his own. He went a little bit wide, perhaps trying to recover that there. Made the mistake. Tyres perhaps a little bit older. He'll be kicking himself for that one for sure.
Yeah, it was a real shame that it was looking like a really good battle that was going to be going into the later stages of the race, but Nick Reynard would be thanking that he doesn't have to race with that guy there, as he was really struggling to keep him behind going up the Camel Straight, but I think he's got Marty Atkins behind him now. I think.
Yeah, he jumped Marty in the pit phase. Obviously, we knew Marty was struggling, so I think that answered our question as well. He wasn't sort of tyre saving or anything like that because Marty jumped in at the same time, so he just really is struggling in the latest part of the stint. So I would think Nick would be able to drive away from Marty here.
Yep, as he's approaching the bus stop chicane now, I think he has. I think it's Marty Atkins behind him. Not entirely sure, as my update racing has not really updated yet since the crash. As they're coming now towards the turn 1. And it is indeed Marty Atkins who's on the back of Nick Rainbird now. And Nick is slightly quicker than Marty Atkins on that last lap there. So hopefully Marty can get a bit more confidence in the car with his tyres, fresh tyres, and hopefully try and get past Nick Rainbird, who's, I think he's been the surprise package of the race so far. And hopefully he can try and catch up to the likes of Matthew Burnett and Chris Lucky, and maybe challenging them for a top 4 finish.
As you mentioned Chris Lucky, I'm going to pull him up on screen because Chris obviously made a little bit of mistake on lap 1 and dropped himself right back in, but I'm pretty sure he played quite a cunning strategy and went in quite early. And he finds himself up in P4 now, and he's only just a little bit behind Tommy Kumper here, so he's definitely the big winner out of the pit stops.
And remember,
I didn't see it, but sorry, Ryan. There, yeah, didn't see quite where he come in and how he panned out, but he is so close to Tommy here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if our suspicions are correct, and Tommy Kumper hasn't taken any tyres on, he will be right. He could be possibly right on the back of Tommy Kumper at the end of the race, maybe the last 4 laps of the race.
Well, actually, I'm just looking. It might be a bit of a Lenovo strategy somewhere because Chris Lucky also a 13.9 second pit stop, only 0.1 of a second between him and Tommy. Clearly faster than anybody else out there. David Oliver just in the pits now.
As I can see, Nick's now really under pressure now from Marty Atkins now, as Marty's right on the back of him, as they're coming round this very difficult corner, and as you've got to get it right, as too much throttle you will lose the back end. As I think Nick's has struggled for that corner, and Marty Atkins is about to make a move on him.
Yeah, he saw Nick taking a whole load of the curb. It's all done, dusted. He couldn't get the power on well. Marty's through. I think Marty knew that he had to get a move done early on in the stint. His tyres just go off too much. He needs that track position. It's the only chance he's got of getting this, this 6th place. So,
but knowing Nick, he will fight back and hopefully get past Marty Atkins here, as they are starting lap number 14.
Well, I think Nick will know in the back of his mind that he was able to close in on Marty in the last sort of 4 or 5 laps of the stint. So, give it a couple more laps, and I think we'll start seeing those tyres go away, and a move will try and put a move back on.
Yep, as I'm looking at Dean Prescott, he's in 9th position. Once again, he's performing really well here. He's consistently in the points in every race he's competed in, and he's now right on the back of Tom Jones, my KRF Motorsports teammate. I think he's about 0.5 of a second behind as they're coming up to Eau Rouge. And Tom Jones has been a bit quiet in this race. I can't remember where he started. I think he started in 10th place, so he's not really gained any positions. He's only gained 2 places, but Dean's been the big winner, I think, in this from the start of the race. As,
yeah, Dean's gained 3 spots off of the start as well, so Dean always another consistent driver. So's Tom actually. I mean, he managed to get his first victory at the end of last season, Tom. So we know he's capable of running right up there. Busy man as well. Runs the league for the most part, and busy with schoolwork, college, everything else that he does. I think he's got a rally car that occasionally runs out with his old man as well. So it's not always easy to find time to practice, but Tom seems to be there week in, week out. Last night he was in the GP260 league, so he does a fair bit.
Certainly does, as he's still keeping up with Dean. He is, and I've now jumped on to Chris Lucky, who's at third position. He looks like he's going to challenge. I think that's I don't know if it's back marker or if it's Steve. Oh, it's a back marker.
Yeah, very, very damaged car there for the back marker. We must have missed Lucky going past Kumper, and Kumper's a long way behind. I get the feeling that Tommy has taken just a little bit too little fuel. And we know how good Lucky is at fuel saving, so he can drive this car fast and save a ton of gas. So thinking Tommy might have just fouled the strategy up there. I'm going to see if I can spool it up to see where he got past his teammate.
As I can see Marty Atkins, who's now really under pressure from Nick Raybird, and as they're coming into turn 1, I think Marty Atkins, and I think Nick Rainbird's lost it. He's lost the back end, but he's not completely spun it. He's still in contention to get past Marty Atkins here. But it's those small mistakes that can cost you a position here, Alex. At turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's the longest sort of straightaway section we have on any track on iRacing. I mean, in an F1 car, it's the longest flat-out section, so I know these guys have to have a little lift and whatnot, but it is still so important to get a good exit out there. Lots of speed can be carried through that section.
Yeah, and looking at Dean now, he's had a very good exit coming out of Eau Rouge, and he's got more speed than Tom Jones has. As they're coming down the Camel Straight now, Dean side by side with Tom Jones, and who will bottle it and give the position to the other person. And Tom Jones there does the safe option and lets Dean through, and Dean is now up into 7th position.
Yeah, just while we were looking at that overtake move as well, I was just showing a little replay of Tommy Kumper just easing off, letting his teammate go through. So, not sure if that was team orders. I genuinely think he definitely has a problem with fuel there, and he's now just trying to save it.
Yeah, I think one of the most key factors you've got to get right around here is the fuel. The fuel does go down dramatically around here, so these guys will have to fuel save at some point during this race. And I think you're right. I think Tommy Kumper did burn a lot of his fuel in that middle stint. I think he's paying the price for it.
Well, he's 3 seconds slower that last lap, so I'm not sure if he's trying to save it all in one go, just so we can get to the end. But Matty Burnett's coming up fast, and I don't know if, well, I don't think unless he picks the pace up, he's going to be a sitting duck.
Yeah, as Tom Jones and Dean Prescott are having a really good squabble here for 7th position. Jones wants to get that position back, as they're coming now into the last sector of this track, and Jones, he's got some slipstream coming into as they're approaching Blanchimont, and is he going to make a move going into the bus stop here? Is he going to brake later than Dean here? And he doesn't. I think they've done brake at the same time here, as I think Tom Jones is going to try and prepare himself for a move going up Eau Rouge and onto the Camel Straight here if he keeps this gap the same, which I still think. Sorry, Alex, it's still around about 2-3 tenths there.
Yeah, Dean was sensible there. He just sort of placed his car just a little bit further over to the right, which left Tom in sort of two minds about whether or not he was going to try and dive up the inside or not. But he didn't go over far enough that he would compromise his exit, and you can see here now that Tom not really got enough of a run.
Yeah,
I think it's important for Dean to have a fantastic lap now. Oh, Tom, very, very squirmy at the top of the Eau Rouge hill there. That's lost him a lot of time. That is music to his ears, as Dean's teammates will be letting him know that. So push on the rest of this lap, break that slipstream, and 8th place could be his.
Got a good squabble here going for 6th position as Marty Atkins and Nick Rainbird are still battling here. And I think Marty Atkins may be struggling slightly on his tyres as they're coming round Pouhon.
Yeah, I think we called it earlier on. We said give it 2 or 3 laps and these guys would be back there. I mean, Nick had a little mistake and he's managed to catch up as well, so definitely know he's got more pace at the end of the stint.
Yep, and I think Tommy Kumper has been overtaken by Steve, I think it's Steve, or is it?
No, Matt Burnett.
Yeah, Matt Burnett, so I will get used to this. Matthew Burnett, I think that was Compa. I think he is fuel saving, as he was around about 2 seconds slower than Matthew Burnett was, and our theory is right.
Yeah, he's lapping 4 seconds a lap slower than the leaders as well, so...
And he's gone very wide coming out of Blanchimont there as well. And I think he might be trying to settle for 4th position here. He's got, I think he's got around about a 10-13 second gap from Marty Atkins there. And with only 3 laps to go, I think he could possibly keep 5th position. But we never know. His fuel might run out at the end, but we'll have to wait and see for that.
Yeah, he's obviously taking drastic action to do it. Nick Rainbird going very, very slow. What's that all about? We must have missed that. Let's see if we can't get that up on a replay. I think it might have been a slowdown penalty or something there.
I think he might have cut the final corner at the bus stop chicane, and he might have had to lift off to not get a penalty. I did not see it on camera. Or it could be a tactical move if the teammates, I'm not entirely sure. But he did set 2:33 that lap, so it could be.
Got it. Let's have a look on the replay. I think I've got what's happened here. They're still battling at it, but we'll have a little replay as well, so it's going to be a bit confusing for the viewers. But yeah, it goes wide coming out through Blanchimont, gets side by side with Marty. They make contact. Marty sideways into the bus stop, Nick sideways into the bus stop. Nick manages to recover. I think Marty's coming back round again, and we will not be happy with that. But it didn't cost them. It didn't cost them a place. Nick's waited. In fairness, no harm done. I mean, there might have been contact, and I don't know if that's any penalty bonus points gone or whatnot. But I'm sure the admins might take a look at that. But for the most part, Nick, good driving, held up, waited, give the position back, no loss of positions, and they go back at it.
Yeah, it's good sportsmanship there. As during that replay, we saw Tom Jones there doing a bit of off-roading after the Camel Straight. He might have braked a bit too late going into that corner, but he's back. He's back on track, and he's pursuing, I think, Dean Prescott-Stale, as we're going back on board with Trevor Johnston, as he's got some back markers up ahead of him. And
so I just had a quick look at Romer Alcala and Brett Spicer. Those two are still going hammer and tong at it.
Yeah, I've just got that up now, and Romer's right on the back of Brett Spencer here. And we could get an exciting finish between these two if they're still battling like this. As
Marty Atkins as well, only... actually it's just updated. I was going to say he's only a few seconds behind Tommy Compa, but that is just leapt up, so I'm not sure what's going on there with the timing.
Yeah, and noticing as well, Tommy Compa is very slow now, and Marty Atkins is gaining, and so it slowly, around about 2 to 2.5 seconds a lap. It could possibly, Marty Atkins, get past Compa for 5th here.
It's 7 seconds slower. The last lap was Tommy Compa than the leader, so that shows how much fuel saving he's having to do. He's literally babying it around now, as we see Trevor Johnston putting a lap on back marker there.
Yep, and Trevor Johnston's had a Vettel-style performance here today. It's led from the front, no incidents, and it looks like it's going to be another win for the Prescoms.com car here. But you never know what might happen. Never expect anything in these races. He might run out of fuel, but knowing Trevor Johnston, he's pretty good on his fuel and good on his tyres, so...
Yeah, it looks like he played it safe in the pit stops, looking at his strategy. And still Brett Spicer, Romer Alcala, here they are battling away as usual.
Yeah, as Rome, I think, could possibly have a move here, as it could be side by side actually going up by Rouge here. It could be a Webber Alonso moment here, but Alcala decides to back out and take the safe option instead of having 2 cars go up by Rouge, which isn't the wiser choices.
Jones and Black in 10th place, definitely looking the more racy. Jones's car's got damage where he had that accident earlier on. think he's going to be sitting duck at the minute, so he's defending hard. He's trying to hold on to that 9th place, just 2 laps to do it.
Yeah, because Simon Black, he hasn't had the best performances today, as we said. He had that incident early in the race, and
I mean, for the most part, you got to give the guy credit where credit is due. He had that big accident. The car was crabbing all over the place. A lot of drivers would have just pulled over and quit out there and then, but he stuck with it. He got his car back to the pits, got his fast tow, got back out, and he's worked his way all the way from the back. And he might get, well, he's in the top 10 as it stands already, and he might well get 9th place here.
Yeah, I would probably give him driver of the day so far, but anything can change. As you said, big crash, many people would have retired and left, but he's not given up. He's got back up to 10th place. He could, as you said, get past Tom Jones here for 9th place, and a great performance from him from what happened early in the race.
Tommy Kumper, a 2:36 last lap. Marty Atkins only 5 seconds behind now with 2 laps to go. There is no way Tommy's going to hold on to this top 5 at this rate, and I think he might have just got a slowdown penalty there as well.
Yeah, I think he cut the exit of Eau Rouge, and he is slowing down ever so slightly to try and get that warning away so he wouldn't get a penalty. But as you said, I think Marty Atkins is ever so close now as well, and don't forget Nick Rainbird as well. He's only 4 seconds behind Marty Atkins, so he could get past Tommy Kumper here with 2 laps to go, but we never know. We don't know what Tommy Kumper's going to set a time here. Could be in the 240s at this rate, as his tyres, as he is really struggling now with these tyres. If he has still got them, we'll probably have to have a word with him after the race to inquire about this. But
yeah, I've just jumped on board with them actually, and we'll just have a listen. Yeah, you can hear him. He's short shifting. I don't even think he's using full throttle going down towards Pouhon there. He is really struggling. He knew he'd made that mistake quite early on, I think, and just eased it back once he'd got an idea of what he needed to save. He's probably had a little word with some of his teammates, and they've just sort of given him a bit of a delta time to drive towards.
As I can see Trevor Johnson, he's starting the final lap now, and he's comfortably got a 12-second gap from Marlon McMullen as we're now on to the final lap, Alex.
Yeah, 20 laps, that's gone really quickly. Trevor Johnson drove fantastically. He's not put a foot wrong today, so he's got one more lap to do. I'll try not to curse him.
No, we don't want that. The commentators curse. But Simon Black is slowly catching up to Dean Prescott here. He's only around about 2 seconds away from him, and they've got 1 lap to do it. And I'm just going to check on the times from Simon Black and Dean Prescott. Black set a 28.8, and Dean was 2 seconds slower than him on that last lap. So Dean's going to be going to get a lot of pressure from Simon Black on this final lap here.
Yeah, and talking about pressure, Tommy Kumper as well. He's just coming through to start his last lap. I think he might have picked the pace up a little. No, he didn't.
Yeah, it was a 2:33.2.
So just a little bit quicker, but I think he just needs to know that he's going to make it to the end and he can floor it. So
a lot better than his last lap was. Take that away, and I've just jumped on board with Trevor Johnston as he's coming near the finish now. He's taking a nice apex there through this the chicane section here in the middle sector, and it's just been a perfect race for him from start to finish. A great drive from him, and he totally deserves the win here today at Spa-Francorchamps. As he's coming round now, this fast right-hander, he's coming now onto, well, he's approaching Blanchimont any time now, as he's got a back marker behind him, but I don't think he's got a trouble over here. As he's going to take he's nursing the car home now.
Yeah, I'm just I know he's coming up for. I know he's going to cross the line very soon, but Tommy Kumper defending for all he's worth now.
As
Marty Atkins round the outside, he's trying through Pouhon. Trevor coming across through the bus stop. Takes victory here at Spa-Francorchamps. Well done, Trevor Johnson's fantastic drive, start to finish.
Great drive there from Trevor Johnson as I see Mark McMullen coming home in second position here. Great drive from him as well. Can't forget him. But I'm gonna go now on board with Tommy Kumper as he's got Marty Atkins all over the back of him. Is Marty Atkins gonna make a move here? He's trying to go around the outside here, approaching Pouon. Is he gonna make the move stick? No, he doesn't. He decides to back out, going into Blanchimont, and I think Tommy Kumper might get away with it here. But as you can see, he's gone very wide through Blanchimont, and I think we've got some invoice from Marty Atkins there, so I don't know what that's going to be about. But Johnson is really struggling here. As you can see, oh, we've got a spin. Tommy Kumper has spun it. I think there might have been contact there with Marty Atkins there. We might have to check that on the replay.
I think there was, and I think Tommy's run out of fuel as well, if I'm not mistaken, so...
We'll have to check that up on the replay screen, but Dean Prescott has been overtaken there, I think, by Nick. I think it's Nick, or is it Craig?
Simon Black, that was.
Simon Black.
So
But,
he's managed to get himself up there. Tommy just sat there now, looking all these cars flowing past. His race is just, well, disaster there, really, on the last lap.
We'll have to have a race as well, but I wonder what happened there. It could have been, from what I could see, I think it was a bit of net lag, but it could be my internet connection, but it could be anything. It could be he ran out of fuel and Marty Atkins might have not spotted it, but we have to have a look at the replay and see what it was.
I'm actually going to have a quick little look at that back, I think. See if we can get a replay spooled up.
Have a look back on that as well.
Oh, he's run out of. He has indeed run out of fuel. He's gone wide basically just to try and carry as much speed as possible. He's defending. He's completely spluttering. He's lost it. He's got no drive. He did get hit and turned around, but I don't think it really. I mean, he would have finished, and he probably would have got points, but. That's it, he can't do nothing. He sat there with no fuel, so he went wide because he knew he couldn't really afford to slow down.
Yeah, it's a shame for Tommy Kumper. I thought he would have kept Marty Atkins there behind him at the end, and but sadly it's racing and anything can happen, and Tommy Kumper's fuel has run out, and just didn't save as much fuel as he would have hoped for in that. But it was a good little last few laps there with Marty Atkins, with Tommy Kumper there.
Yeah, just looking at the final standings then. Trevor Johnson taking the victory from Marlon McCullum. Chris Lucky, fantastic drive, kept himself out of trouble. Strategy paid out there. Third place, Matty Burnett in fourth. Marty Atkins in fifth. Nick Rainbird sixth. Simon Black in seventh. Dean Prescott eighth. Tom Jones ninth. Chris Brooks 10th. Steve McPherson 11th. Tim Foltz also kept himself out of trouble. We didn't really see much of Tim, but he managed to work his way up to 12th. Kevin Johnson, Brett Spicer, Romer Alcala, those guys were nip and tuck, all raced, finishing less than 2 seconds apart as well. Isaac De Figueiredo in 16th, Tommy Kumper 17th he finished in the end because he couldn't get across the line. Craig Dorr 18th, Damien McConkey in 19th, Dave Oliver in 20th. 21st was Dane Powell, he retired quite early on at the same time as Cedric Finsact. In 22nd, Justin Di Domenico. In 23rd, he retired when I think him and Simon Black made contact. And Rich Domenkovic, he didn't actually race today, although he was in the practice session, so I was thinking he was going to appear. And Ryan, you finished 24th in front of Rich, mate, so well done.
Hey! Don't know how that happened, but yeah, it was a good race that. Good first experience of commentating on this race, and I would like to speak to a couple of people. Chris Lucky, one of them, for his excellent third position. The race winner himself, Trevor Johnson, and also Dean Prescott as well, and Simon Black, hopefully. They've all put in some great performances here today. But Alex, who's your driver of the day?
It's a tough one to call, but I think I'm going to give it to Chris Lucky. Actually, he didn't qualify particularly great, 6th place, played the strategy game perfectly, and found his way up there. In fact, I'm going to drag him up because he was ready for an interview. Hi Chris, sorry mate, I just see you jump down just as I was about to grab you.
Yeah, hi guys.
Congratulations today, welcome back. We haven't seen you for a few weeks.
Yeah, took the last couple of weeks off, give my brother a chance. I needed a break anyway, and wanted to let you guys know this might be my last race with ARL V8 Supercars. Got a little change at work, I might be getting promoted, so I wanted to jump up and say thanks for everything you guys have done.
Oh well, congratulations on the promotions, what we like to hear. It sucks that you won't be able to race with us again, but it's sim racing for you, I guess.
Yep, man, that was a rough first lap for me. You know, I made contact with Tom Jones, Tim Foltis, David Oliver, Romer Alcala, and I got to slow down on the first lap, so I'm lucky to be third.
Yeah, I made a few comments saying about how you seem to be slipping back at the first lap. We're just looking at it now. I can see you slow down, and I saw you went wide at Pouan. Yeah, I guess you came in early strategically just to get yourself a bit of free air.
Yeah, I just wanted to get out of the fray. That's usually the best chance you got to make your pit stop worthwhile. So I figured I'd come in and get away from everybody and just start cruising, and it paid off.
So you said obviously about your brother. It was nice to see your brother taking part. Are we going to see him back in the car next few weeks then?
Yeah, there's a chance I'll run next week, but if it's not me, it'll be him starting next week, and then he'll run with you guys from here on out.
Ah, sounds good. So, I mean, just so everybody knows as well, you're from the States. What sort of time is this race taking place for you?
Right now it is 6:20, so practice starts at 4 a.m.
Ryan, mate, just your...
Yeah.
There we go, he's just muted himself off there, so... yeah, so... bloody early, basically. So fair play for, you know, sticking around for 2.5 seasons, getting up. That's dedication, I tell you. It's not easy to do that, and, you know, we look forward to your brother taking the reins.
Just want to say as well, Chris, wish you the best of luck with your promotion as well. And we hopefully will see you very soon in the, hopefully if you ever come back.
Yeah, I'll be back from time to time when I take vacation and stuff, so it'll be every once in a while, but not very often.
Great performance today, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
I've also got joining us in the commentary box is Marlon. Hello, Marlon.
Good morning, good evening all. How are we?
Yeah, you got it right there. Tell us a little bit about your race today. Happy with that?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. You wouldn't think second would be very well for me, but I'm quite satisfied. The car was good. I drove very well, but Trevor was too good. I had no way chance of catching him.
How hard was it to fuel save around here?
I didn't really find I had to save fuel. I started with 60 litres, and I came in about, I think it was lap 11, and I popped in 45 litres into the car, and I've made it home quite easily. I think I had about 2 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, I think there was a few drivers just trying to push it today. We saw a few really short stops, which cost a few of them, so I think you went the right call in just playing it safe.
Now, it's better to be safe than sorry. I mean, you can make as much gain as you want on the pit lane, but if you don't do it right, you're going to suffer at the end. So, you know, you want to take away that risk.
Second place, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not your best performance in the ARL V8 Supercar Series?
I believe it's older. I finished second behind John.
So we've had a couple of good results on the bounce now. Have you missed any races this season? I think we should start to see you jump up through the table, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've missed quite a few, unfortunately. I just had a few commitments which have flown out of nowhere, like we all get in our busy lives. So I've had to address them. But next season, you know, I want to go have a full crack at it, do all the races I can. Just using this season as a learning curve, so hopefully I can improve on for next season.
Yeah, well, you sat in, what, 20th place in the championship at the minute. There are still drop rounds, so got a couple of drop rounds. I think you're going to have 1 0-point finish regardless. But what's your hopes for this season then? Are you looking at the table? Are you thinking, let's see if I can get in top 10 or anything?
Points are just points to me at the moment. I mean, as I said, I just want to sort of or build a steady foundation, should I say, sorry, and just making a good setup that I can feel comfortable driving on. I mean, tonight and at Zolder was a couple of tracks that I felt I connected with the car a little bit more, and from that I'm able to produce good results. But if I don't have that set up for next season, that, you know, when I've sort of researched and developed that I feel comfortable with, I'm not going to go anywhere. So, in all reality, championship points, I mean, it's out of the window at the moment, but next season I'm going for at least a top 5.
So, I mean, you're talking a little bit there about obviously developing setups for the car and things like that. I mean, how long have you been running this car now? I mean, I don't think we've had you up here. I mean, forgive me again, I might be wrong. So we talked to a lot of people at the end of the races.
That's alright.
But how long have you been in the car? Tell us a little bit about your V8 history.
I've only been driving the car in iRacing for about, I think it's about 4 to 4.5 months now. So it's my first full crack at it. I tried the V8 probably early last year, and I couldn't get my wheel to work with it, the steering wheel I had at the time. It was about 10 years old, so it was a little bit out of date. So eventually got a G27 and came back on and instantly fell in love with the tin tops again.
Yeah, trusty old G27 Logitech. Everyone seems to either end back somewhere like that.
It's got such a better feel than, you know, the old wheel that you had 10 years ago, which is missing so much, you know, functionality such as force feedback, the main thing.
Just a final question for you, Marlon. What are you going to be planning to do over this week break before we head off to Muscat? I know obviously it's Christmas, so what are you going to be doing?
Oh, Christmas. Probably having a Christmas dinner or lunch, should I say, with the family. Not too much else really planned. I think I'm just going to have a quiet year this Christmas. I mean, I'm just glad to be alive after, you know, the 21st of December.
Oh, but a great performance from you, Marlon, today. Good second place, and we'll see you at Muscat.
Thank you, guys. See you next week. Have a good week, guys.
Cheers, Mom.
See you later, mate.
Right, I think no one else really in the interview channel at this point, so I don't know if you want to jump down, Ryan, and see if like some of your KRF guys perhaps want to come up and have a little chat.
Yeah, I'll just be 2 minutes.
See if we can't get a couple of the others. But yeah, just while Ryan's away, fantastic race again today. Lots of individual battles. I would like to speak to Roma and Brett together, actually, if we can get them. That would be awesome. But we're joined with Dean and Tom Jones. Hi guys.
Hi. Hello.
Fantastic little battle between you two today.
Yeah, if you'd like to say that. Yeah, it was good.
Tell us a little bit about your race, Tom. How did it start? How did it pan out?
Well, I hadn't done any practice, so it's a bit iffy, and I didn't have a setup, so I just found one on the internet, and yeah, that didn't go too well. But quali 10, which I was pretty happy with, and I don't know what happened on the first lap. There was just cars everywhere, and I don't know, but I undercut Dean in the pits and tried to hold him off, but I lost the front end, the tyres went off and I couldn't.
I think you picked up a bit of damage, did you, as well, which let Simon get the run on you?
I don't think I had any damage. I think Simon was just a hell of a lot quicker than me.
Well, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. You looked like you had bent bumper to me. I didn't know if that was affecting it.
It's probably from when he hit me.
And Dean, just tell us a little bit about your race, mate.
Yeah, it was alright. Qualified 12th. Set a new PB in quali, so happy with that. Turn 1, got pushed wide. Got an off-track ×1. So I thought, you know what, sod it, I'm going for it. Same as Tom really. Just tried to stay out of everything at first and come to the pit stop. I knew Tom was pitting on lap 10, did you pit, Tom?
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, stay at one extra lap. And he did get the undercut, but I had the fresher boot, so just put it past him.
We were obviously paying a lot of attention to your teammate as well, because he had a fantastic pit stop, Tommy. 4 seconds quicker than anybody else. But alas, it would appear that he short-filled it. When did he say in the team channel that he was struggling?
As soon as he spun it on the last corner. All I heard over the team was, yeah, I've run out of fuel.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think we were tracking him for about 5 or 6 laps there, about 4 seconds a lap slower, so he spluttered going around Blanchemont, so I was surprised actually. I would have thought he'd have been chirping up with you guys saying, right, what sort of delta times do I need to be running at and things like that, because I know Chris is so good at conserving fuel.
When it works for Chris, yeah. I think there's only me now in the team who's not run out of fuel once.
We've got Mosport next then, guys? Well, after the break. After the break.
After we go on Christmas break. But what are you two going to be planning to do over this week break?
Eat and sleep.
Yep. That's it.
Maybe a bit of work in between.
I'd say that was a good call, to be fair. I think I'll probably join you on that one. I've got no work in between, so it's all good.
That's alright for me. I've got I'm not doing anything until I go back on the 7th of January. But good battle between you and Dean there, Tom, and we wish you hope you both have a good Christmas and a good New Year, and we'll see you at Mosport in 2 weeks' time.
And you guys, cheers.
Thanks, guys. Same to you.
Well, then that just wraps up our show for today. Just want to thank you, Ryan, really. I mean, you could have raced here, but you jumped up and helped us in there, and I think you did a fantastic job. So, you know, I hope that you come back and we work together again in the future.
Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity just to thank you and for giving me the opportunity to come up here and commentate on it, which was a very, very interesting race. And yeah, it was a shame I couldn't compete here today, but with the old frame rate issue. But it was a pleasure, and I hopefully would like to come back up here at some point.
Just before we go, just want to thank the sponsors one last time, ApexRacingLeague.com for obviously putting this on. SimNewsDaily.com as well for all the latest sim news. Please go and check him out. Don't forget to subscribe to us at Apex Racing UK on Twitter, and follow our Facebook page, Apex Racing League, and also to thank our main sponsor as well, Pagnini Imports. So for racing rigs, wheels, butt kickers, you name it, go and check them out. PagniniImports.com.au. It's been Alex Simpson and Brian Littlemore for the ARL V8 Supercar Series. We wish you all a happy Christmas and prosperous New Year. But from us, it's a goodbye.
Have a good Christmas, everyone, and we'll see you later.
We've done that with iRacing. We're creating a new NASCAR Sanctioned Series, a new division of NASCAR that people from all over the world can compete in from their homes.
They're all just fans really wanting to know and to be able to get as close to the realism of driving a race car as possible. There's nothing really that catches it quite like iRacing.
It can be a tool for guys that don't have a lot of experience at a track, or don't, have never been somewhere. You can crash a lot. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you a lot of money, and you can get an idea of what's going on before you ever get